Just in the pledge of allegiance of the silence.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. May I be seated?
I'd like to welcome everyone here this morning, or this evening, and ask if there's anyone who wishes to comment on any of the agenda items. Make yourself known. Seeing none, we'll move on. Our first four items of business are public hearings. We'll begin with the 2026 budget hearing. Mr. Deshawn, you want to say anything? Renee, do you want to say anything? Does anyone in the room want to make any comments about the 2026 budget? Seeing none, we'll move on. 2026 capital projects plan hearing. Same thing, Mr. Deshawn?
Yes.
Renee? Anyone in the audience? Having none, we'll move on. 2026 bus replacement hearing. Bus replacement plan, Mr. Deshawn? Renee? Anyone else? We'll move on. And then number 5 is the public hearing before the first meeting of collective bargaining. Mr. Deshawn?
Do we want to run those slides?
Yeah, I'm trying.
This is a meeting that we are required by law to hold every year prior to bargaining, and they almost did away with this completely because nobody from the public ever comes to these. But by law, we do this every year. It's just basically the rules of bargaining.
I'm trying to be fancy.
So I asked you a minute ago.
IT's in the back.
I know, I can't get that little thing yet, David.
You can't say I know.
No, I got it.
The whole thingy.
This is what we tell the kids, you have to use their words.
You did the thing.
I did.
You
run-
thingy.
You're gonna run around with her like pad and show us all.
Yeah.
No, I'll just walk around.
There you go.
This week they're repetitive.
Oh, jeepers. Oh my, oh my. It's stressful when everyone's watching up there.
Oh, no.
Oh my.
Have some family videos popping up.
Renee, what are you doing over there?
Well, I'm trying. Here we go. We're gonna have the public hearing about collective bargaining. These are just things that we are allowed to talk about at collective bargaining and not allowed to talk about. So these are very exciting things that we can talk about at bargaining. Oh my. Okay, here we go. These are things we cannot talk about during the bargaining process. Again, we have 2 slides in those. This is just a little education piece on school funding and how we have 2 different funds and what those 2 different funds are used for. This is our ADM count historically over the years. You guys have this in your packet too, but we just have to technically go over all this. I know, very exciting stuff. These are our impact for property tax caps on our operations fund. Steve and I talk and stress about this a lot. This is revenue that is lost because we cannot collect all of the property taxes that we bill for. Everyone's homeowners are at a 1%, there's 2% cap and a 3% cap. So this is the amount of money that we lose on top of our tax collection. A little sneak peek, this will only be getting worse with the Senate Enrolled Act 1 that changed the way property taxes are. So I can only assume that these numbers are going to get higher and higher and worse for us. This is technically the bargaining process and what we have to do. We're at that very first, we're at the second one, the public hearing with the association here and us. We can start formal bargaining on September 15th. We have to have it finished by November These are just other people who are kind of at the table during the bargaining process, and if anyone has any public comments.
Any public comments? Anyone? Board members? Thank you, Renee. We will move on from here. I'd entertain a motion from the board member for approval of the regular and consent agendas.
I'll move that we approve the regular consent agendas as presented.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Nice. Entertain a motion for, no, I'm sorry. That's there. Okay, let's move on to school highlights.
Yeah.
Small company. No, so, this year at Taylor, we have grown our, music department even more and our arts department even more. And that's because of all of you saying yes to things. What's our solution gonna be? So, Mrs. Decker brought to our attention, hey, we need keyboarding class. We need ways to get kids engaged and all this. And she's like, but Mr. Gleason, you must really have to build all these keyboards if we get them. So we did, but I'm gonna let her kind of see why and talk about why this class is so special. They want to say thanks and just continue something else, but I'll let Ms. Decker go here real quick.
Thank you for letting us come here tonight and talk with you guys. I have been wanting to do a keyboard class for a few years now, and finally we were at a place where we could make it happen. So I've got a class of 9 right now. We've got 10 keyboards. So we've got 9 right now. We have 2 here that are going to chat with you here in a minute. But it was important to me because, number one, we're trying to hopefully entice people to come to Taylor. And we are the only Howard County school, to my knowledge, that offers a piano keyboard class during the school day as a class. And in fact, I think someone told me that Tipton is the closest that offers that. I'm not sure if that's true or not. But so we're the only one in the area that has offered this. And right now I'm finding the kids are loving it. I've even had kids ask, can we do a keyboard 2 class so they can continue the next year? The ones who are in it now, can we do it again next year? I've had kids ask me if they can stay in next semester and just take it again. No, we can't do, but we'll see. So yeah, and the kids, they're every day, you can ask these guys, they are at the keyboard like a half hour, 35 minutes. They don't want to get off the keyboard even when it's time to go.
We even put their progression videos as part of the hashtag 180 project, and even some of the comments like, oh, they're actually improving as they're going through and doing stuff. So that's one interesting.
Yep. So we have Devontae and Jordan, and they've been. Yeah.
Why do you like the class, or what is it? It's always nice to hear the voices of the students.
For me, I've always wanted to play the piano since I was little. So I would ask my mom or my dad every day if I could get a piano, and they bought me this like toy piano. So I used to play it for a while, but I stopped after a while because of family issues. So it's really good for me to get back into it because it was like a big change for me.
I joined class because,
Have you ever played piano at all?
I've not.
No.
I have a keyboard at home, but it's kind of hard to learn yourself correctly at home. So I thought it'd be kind of cool to learn it correctly instead of messing up and doing it wrong.
Is it kind of cool?
No, but like I said, I just, really appreciate the support of the board, support of everybody to make, like I said, if we change the pathway or the direction for 9, that was 9 that we never changed before. So that's worth it all to me. So wonderful.
Thank you very much, Master Lane. This really means a lot to us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
At the end of the year, you're going to come back and play us a little bit.
Yeah.
They're going to have a recital.
They will. All right. They couldn't be here today because there's a cross-country meet. But we hear all these things about reading and reading. Well, Mr. Wade, his kids were like, I want to do something. So they got these kits, these little libraries, and they went and painted them and all this. So, and so once you ever see, we do have this post in the stand, but I didn't want a month to go out behind them. So on their own, our two, students went out and they were like, we're gonna do a little library. So the one closest to Mr. Light, that's gonna go down to the elementary. They want it there because they hear all this reading, all these new things, and they're like, all right, our kids are excited to read, let's continue to read, so let's have different options for them to read. And then the other one is going to go at the high school. Everybody passes through the high school every day, so if you're not feeling well, you need something different, the library's closed, there's always a way to get a book. And just to continue that passion, continue that going forward. So they actually stand on posts and do all that. So yeah. But it was really cool that there was no push, no nothing. They just got packages on their own and said we want to put them at 2 places, and that's where we landed. So I just want to highlight those real quick. So
it's really cool that students would take the time to do that, and obviously the Waits are great family, Taylor family, so that's super cool, and I know Brandon was the same.
Yeah.
So those will be inside?
I think here's one out.
I think our plan was to be outside. I think it'd be a great idea in Indian Heights, hopefully, put somewhere where we can have a camera on it, obviously. But I think it'd be super cool for parents to be able to come and walk with their kids to the school to get a book.
And then the same thing, ours will probably go outside door 19 up by the mulch area there where there's a lot of traffic in and out, especially, they see something, they drop a book. And, these will be monitored and looked at, like what books are going in and all that stuff. So that will be monitored and tracked.
So can anybody put a book in there?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so with, Jake and I at the buildings every day, we'll go through inventory count just to make sure that, hey, nothing's getting in there that we don't know about. Sure.
Yeah.
And the idea would be that after you read it, you return it back and there's somebody else can do it.
Yeah. Or if you drop it off at another little library somewhere else, you just kind of pay it forward. But the kids are excited to read. I know, what Jake's doing, this is just on the spot out here, what Mr. Light's doing on the elementary science and reading. My wife, Mrs. Gleason, said her kindergartners are excited to read, are coming to fly and all this stuff, and so they're really excited. So now they can actually be like, I get to go to a different library and get books and continue that. So they're going very cool. And thank you.
Thank you. Moving on to financial reports. Confident you board members have reviewed those. They will be submitted and, of course, are subject to audit. Anyone have any comments or questions about those? Okay. Now we will review the OLA policies and procedures with a special update, July 2 through 25. Mr. Litzler.
Guys, there's not a whole lot to discuss, really. It's nothing more than changes for clarity and to reflect the changes in the state and federal laws, and to basically make sure that we're in line with the new laws that go into effect this year. So that's really all they are. I don't have any options.
Any comments or questions? Thank you. Thank you very much for doing what you did with the OLA.
I think October 1st we meet again for the next law.
Can't wait. We started early though, so we need to be done by 5. So.
Not 6 hours.
Under new business, we will consider for consideration of the Taylor Elementary School improvement plan. Mr. White.
Yeah, for us, it was very simple. This was just year 3 of a 3-year improvement plan, so a lot of the stuff that you see in the document was just updated information with updated test scores, attendance numbers. One of the cool things about the attendance, you can kind of see, track it over the course of a 3-year time period. So 3 years ago, we had 150 of our students that missed at least 18 school days. Last year, it had got cut down to, I think it was 64 kids. And this past year, we only had 21 kids that missed 18 school days or more. And honestly, and I know the teachers feel the same way, sometimes it's a hopeless feeling when you want to help a kid but they're just not at school. And you see growth, but they're not growing like they should because they're just not at school like they should be. So I thought that was an extremely positive and a positive data point for our improvement plan. But we tweaked just a couple of things with UFly stuff, some of the tracking that we do. But all in all, I think maybe we spent maybe 10 to 15 minutes updating it with just literal numbers that are just basic public knowledge. So this is year 3, so next year we'll have a whole new improvement plan. Again, there'll be another 3-year improvement plan, but this is pretty straightforward and just updated information.
As I reviewed this for the second time today, I took a screenshot of what you just spoke of, the absences. I also took a screenshot of your iRead scores. You want to brag on that a minute?
Yeah. So 3 years ago when this started, I believe we were at like a 59%. Sometimes it says 61. We don't know why. We have a fluctuation in numbers. And then 2 years ago, or not the past school year, the school year before, we got up to like 65.9%, and then obviously last year we got right at 80%. So again, much like our attendance numbers, and I think attendance is a huge part of it. I think our teachers are teaching as hard as they can every single day. In an elementary building, it can grade on you pretty quick, but the students are coming, and they're coming more ready to learn because they're coming more often. And so I think between the attendance and some of the things the teachers are doing in their classrooms, I think that's the biggest reason for improvement in my building for sure.
Very good. Very good. That's something, most of those are something to be proud of.
So, Mr. Lack, that is tremendous improvement, particularly on the well-known. What have you done on the attendance to improve that so much? That's remarkable.
Well, I don't really know, to be 100% honest with you, how it got so out of hand, because even if like COVID, but that wasn't during COVID times.
Right.
So I'm not sure. I think maybe, to be honest, we're just disciplining kids, like in terms of like suspensions more. And I think maybe back in the day, instead of suspending students, they were just like, hey, go home, sign this paper, and then come back tomorrow. And I think those were being counted as absences rather than like, hey, we're suspending kids. That's what I think. I'm not 100% sure because the numbers are pretty crazy and out there. At first I was like, well, it's COVID. But now I'm like, no, it's 2025. 3 years ago, it's 2022. But COVID wasn't really a big thing anymore. So I think that there are a combination of things, whether it be the way the discipline was happening or not happening before, and then just staying on kids. And I know Kelly calls for the first like hour of the day, she's like calling, and we make TCS calls based on if kids aren't here a certain amount of time, and we have a whole like checklist that we have to go through. So I just think Kelly's really on it, and Brandon was really on it when I first got there, and that was one of the big things that him and I talked about when we started making this improvement plan. And now it's just kind of more seamless, I think.
It could be, that 3 years ago could be COVID period, because we were out of work for 2 full years.
Yeah.
We were working from home.
I
So it's going to be COVID
Yeah.
period still.
I'm just speculating because I don't really know because I just kind of came on back into that. So
I do know that each building is doing a much better job of tracking the absences and what we're doing for every student. Middle school keeps a spreadsheet of all of their calls, all the letters that go home, all of the calls to Quest or TCS. They're doing the same thing, so I think that we're on top of it better than we used to be as well. So I think that's a piece of it. The entire attendance rate across the state has gotten better. That rate is just way better than even the state improvement.
That's huge.
And I will say also, like, there are teachers that come down, and even if let's just say we just missed a kid, like, I don't know, for some reason we missed a kid, marking them in Skyward, that we had to make a phone call. Our teachers are pretty on top of, like, what kids are leaving. Or, like, there was one kid last year who would come to school at, like, 10 o'clock every single day. Well, they're missing the U-Fly. And then, well, that's a reason why they probably need to be held back, because their scores aren't indicative of what they can do. But they could improve if they got there on time. But if they're not going to get there, you can't really do anything about it. So I think the teachers are also very on top of it, those trends. And I know they talk to Kelly a lot about students that they know should be here that aren't here, or they're missing a certain amount of time, or a certain part of the day they're missing. And that stuff adds up. So, and I know it's very tough, I'm sure. Mr. Brinkle and Mr. Boone deal with attendance quite a bit, I'm sure. So it's a tough situation. So.
We have more SROs now too to be available to go with the assistant principal and make house calls, and that's helpful too. How many do we have now, Brandon? We're up to 6 SROs.
Yeah, probably.
We haven't had that many in a long time, and they're all more willing than ever to come in and be here, transportation in the morning at both buildings, be here in the afternoon.
7.
So, is it 7 now? Yeah, we have a good group, and they're excited to be here. All KPD, there's no sheriffs. It's crazy out here.
Thank you, Jim.
Thank you, guys.
Next, we will consider a new bus aid position.
I think you need to vote on that.
Oh, we do. Having heard the information on the Taylor School Improvement Plan, I would entertain a motion concerning such.
I'll move that we approve the Taylor Elementary School Improvement Plan as presented.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passed. Now, we will consider a new bus aid position for bus number 9.
So, as you know, we've done 4 routes. And Ronnie and Chris did a great job over the summer condensing those routes. And that means that our other buses are full. And bus 9 happened to be very full at the beginning of the year. And it was very difficult without having an aide on that bus. We pulled a few kids off, but it's still really full. So we feel like having an aide on that bus will help a lot. It's not going to put us out too much financially, considering we've lost some bus drivers. But we feel like to get that bus running smoothly and safety of the children and the bus driver, it's our best move right now. And we have somebody in mind for that.
How many buses do we have running on a daily basis for, morning and afternoon?
What's our total number?
10.
10?
10 in the morning, 10 at night.
Does that include the second little yellow bus?
No.
It's a good thing we bought those little yellow buses with the stop arms, because to alleviate a little bit of the overcrowding on some of those buses, we've had somebody go out with a yellow bus to pick up some students to ensure we didn't have 3 kids in the seat. So,
How did we end up with a bus from Roswell? Did they just have a surplus bus?
yeah, he runs a lot of stuff around here. He just put it out to everybody and said, hey, I've got a surplus bus. Anybody interested in purchasing it? And we reached out, and within a couple days we had it.
The Rossville had bought lots of little yellows because when they were doing the construction on 26, they couldn't get their big yellows through all the little neighborhoods that they were having to do all the week here. So they had a lot of little yellows that they needed to get back to big yellows. That's the technical term.
Technical, big yellow.
I saw it sitting out there, 2 or 3 months ago. I saw it sitting out there for several days, and thought, well, maybe
It was
just
$1,000.
maybe it
Was
had
it?
a defect. They couldn't get it back home or something.
It was how much?
$1,000.
That's all it was to buy it.
$99,000 less than we did. We could not pass it.
Shoot, Dennis was water for that.
It's hard to go.
And that stop arm is everything, because that means that it can stop on the street and a child to go to a park.
Very good.
Yeah, they just had so many. Deliveries.
So we do have 1 bus driver starting the 15th. So,
Yes.
and we have another one that we'll talk about here in a few minutes, and then we're hoping to get yet a 3rd one. Because right now Ronnie is on a bus every day. One of our subs is on a bus every day. If we can get those 2 filled, then we get her where she needs to be, our sub back where he needs to be, and then if we great.
Okay, entertain a motion for consideration of new busing position for bus number 9.
Do we want to vote on these 2 separate or together? The position and the person.
I think it should be separate because the employee might not stay, but we still have the position.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I'll move that we approve the new bus aid position for bus number 9.
I'm sorry. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passed. Next would be, is it appropriate to name him?
Yeah, everybody else is on there. For consent agenda is listed as well.
Oh, true, okay. You have the aide already hired, pending board approval for bus 9, and his name is James Smith. Any comment from either of you? Okay.
He's excited.
That's exciting.
Is he the husband?
It's boyfriend, girlfriend.
Of the driver for
The
the bus
one
9?
who's going to serve 15.
Good.
No. The driver on the bus 9 is Travis Slade.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
His wife drives a different bus?
She's the one who started running for us.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Very good. All right, entertain a motion to approve James Smith.
I'll make a motion to approve James Smith, bus number 9, bus 8.
Second.
I mean, there's a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passed. Next would be consideration of the new bus driver / guidance office secretary split position, Mr. Deshawn.
Yes, well, we eliminated the secretary position in the guidance office, and we did that in order to try to trim some extra salary. And it has been really rough on that office, and it's only going to get rougher as we have to start tracking kids as far as their hours for facing and all of that. So what we proposed was, and it's easier to get bus drivers this way, is we'd have somebody drive a bus, 2 hours in the morning, 2 hours in the evening, and then they can come in over 3 hours in between in that office to help out and do some of those things that they need.
Any comments or discussion?
Does that put them over the 28 hours and?
It would put them, yeah, they would be considered a full-time employee. A lot of schools are doing this with either maintenance or custodial, having to do that. It's a way that we can keep some bus drivers, because a lot of them are struggling to only work 4 hours a day.
I would entertain a motion for consideration of new bus driver / guidance office secretary / split position.
I'll make the motion for consideration of new bus driver / guidance office secretary split position.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passed.
Did you have some?
I just wanted to point out, this is a way to draw in some younger bus drivers also. And I know that's not a good thing to say, but they're looking for an income, not just to supplement an income. So if you were questioning that at all about, is that really a good idea? This is a way for us to help attract some that may be here another 15, 20 years with us.
Being a full-time employee versus a few hours.
Yes, yes. Thank you.
That makes sense.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely. With that being said, Melissa Miller has been proposed as the split bus driver / guidance office secretary. Any comment?
This was an odd one, and it just fell on our lap because this person applied for the bus position. We came up with the split, and then when I went and talked to Tiffany Gora, the guidance director, she said, "Oh, I know her. When I worked at the YMCA, she was our #1 mentor. She won mentor of the year." So she was excited. So it really kind of just worked out perfectly. So I think she's the right person for it, and she will be official, and she's going to do a 3-day class, and I think she's good.
At the end of this month, she will go and do her safety training, and then when Mindy gives me the thumbs up, then I can put her on for observation. I can give her her 8 hours drive time, and we're going to get her trained and take her to the test site and get her passed. She's going to do it the first time. This girl has been on it, on everything.
She had a CDL before, right?
No, but she came to me with a DOT physical done. She went to B&B, passed all of her tests, brought her permit in within a week. And so, she wants this. She wants this.
Very good. I would entertain a motion concerning Melissa Miller for the split bus driver / guidance office secretary.
I'll make a motion for Melissa Miller to be the split bus driver / guidance office secretary.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? A little white out so hard for me to say.
We'll have him on the back of it.
All right, now we will consider donation requests. Who's going to speak to those?
So sorry for being late. Had a middle school cross country meet out there this evening. So we have 2 donations to go in front of the board tonight. One was from McGavick's Outdoor Power in the amount of $500, $250 being earmarked for the football program. The other $250 that was the Copeland. McGavick's is $500 straight to football. got my donations mixed up there. And then the second one, donation sponsorship from Summers Heating and Cooling for the football scoreboard. I don't know if you've seen it yet or not, but the new signage that Clifford was able to put up for us looks great. And Steve and Matt have gotten the new home and guests and quarters and downs and yards to go and everything put up there. So kind of looks like a brand new scoreboard. So they're doing $5,000 over the next 5 years, so $1,000 a year for the next 5 years for naming rights, if you will, for the scoreboard. It's not on this one, it'll be on next month's, but Coach B did just drop off some money for me as well this morning from a golf outing that will be going to the football program as well. It'll be on next month's donation list. So.
All right, I would entertain a motion for consideration of the donation requests.
I'd like to motion for consideration of the designated donation request for the football field.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Pass. All right, lastly is the consideration of the amended health insurance rates. Is there any discussion? Board members, Mr. Deshawn, Renee?
It's just switching from, I think it was employee and spouse to family.
Entertain a motion for consideration of the amended health insurance rates.
I'd like the motion for the consideration of the amended health insurance rates.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passed. Mr. Deshawn, any other information?
So just in case you've seen anything on social media, we had a parent a couple weeks ago who had a concern about her child had found a bed bug and posted online. And I spoke with the mother, and we had a great conversation, and I came into the school, flipped the desk, did the search, we cleaned, and the custodians do their whole thing. Well, apparently it's still online that somebody, some folks' website is saying that we have an infestation of bed bugs in the school. The 5 rooms were infested in the middle school, a bunch of nonsense like that. But we have never had an infestation. We had 1 bug in one building, 1 in another building, and what those are typically called hitchhikers. A hitchhiker with a kid, a staff member, whoever from another kind of building. It's no different than if we had a mouse in the building or a bat or whatever might happen. But those rumors are completely false, and we don't really address those things online because Facebook is not an appropriate place to talk about school business. But I just thought I'd bring it up here in case you saw that online, that there is no infestation, nor has there ever been.
Thank you. Thank you for mentioning that.
I think that's it for us. Everything else is going great. Good.
Board members, any comments?
Yeah, we had our annual one-night golf outing Saturday, and was able to introduce Jake. We had Coach Shields, Coach Porter there. We had 19 teams again. So in the last 4 years, we've had anywhere from 76 to 90 golfers, and we probably had the biggest crowd we've ever had afterwards, wives and friends and family. So pretty good celebration. And we were able to, Coach Patchett showed up and was able to speak to him. And we're going to put some things later on in Facebook, the bonfire thing, and trying to get the alumni involved more, which I thought was pretty cool. We talked about the resource, and we talked about the older generation alumni, trying to encourage some of the younger ones to start participating in some of these things and getting out here, seeing the school, seeing the facilities, and just being a part of it. So, and then tomorrow we start our Project 30 mentoring program. I go in at 10 o'clock. So Tyrell.
Yes.
So,
This is Mason's class.
yeah, I love those. I love those kids. So Jody and I have been doing it, and then Jody after 50 years in the school system, helped them have to do a background check. So they get that. So we got that done. We'll make sure we're all proper. But yeah, that's cool.
My entire staff will be doing that. So my entire office, every one of them has taken a student in that building, so they're joining you, and I know Coach Fisher, is doing
I
that
already
too.
have my background check on file.
Yeah, we'll have to keep an eye on Renee. And,
That's good stuff.
No, I got an email that I've been matched up, so.
I'm just curious.
Get them all
When
suited
I
up on
left, we
donuts.
started a mentoring program here with all those kids. Are you getting help in the middle school with mentoring or anything? Are we doing anything there? Really?
Julie did speak, not Julie, what was the girl's name? She did speak to that that people are, I think we're gonna be like a pilot program where you can follow them into the middle school. Like, we're starting in the elementary, but I guess if we like our kids.
Yeah, I've got a seventh grader, for instance,
We
that I'm
can-
still with.
Yeah, so I think I think that they're gonna kind of pilot that with us.
Good, good stuff.
One other thing I wanted to add, something that we're kind of working on, but we're gonna need some people to help out, is when we built that field house, one of the things we said is we were gonna open it up for the community to use. And I know sometimes you'll have your church group in here to play pickleball. If we could get a group of people who would come in and help open up and just supervise the gym for 3 hours or whatever, I'd love to have one night a week where we open up for our community to come in, walk, play pickleball, have one of the courts, with the curtains down for basketball, people come in for a pickup, something like that, so we can invite the community in to enjoy what we have. So I just need a group of people, like 4 people, come in and watch once a week, so.
I know a group of men who would love, I may have asked you about it in the past, to use the facility for pickleball. That would be.
We've got 6 courts. We can hold a pickleball tournament all the time, and we've got plenty of room in there. And I'd love for our community to be able to enjoy it. We always open up the track and tennis courts, so it'd be nice to do that too.
We haven't had the 6 pickleball
Yep.
nets.
We got the paddles, ball, we have the whole thing, so. Kurt can check on it to make sure if we're gonna go through and do this, but I think a lot of people enjoy coming in. Or in the wintertime, especially in the walk.
Yeah, that's great. And you said for one night a week, could it be expanded?
It could be expanded as long as it's after sports practices, we could do it any number of nights, but we just have to have somebody here to supervise, and allow people. But yeah,
It's great.
we can put a committee together and figure it out. I love it.
It'd be great.
Also, I came in to talk to Kurt this afternoon, and I stopped to see Marcia, see how things were going. She wanted the school board to participate in a tug of war in the mud. And I'm telling you, I would be 100% in, but my granddaughter plays in Kentucky that night, Tuesday night, but I said, you guys, I would be here.
I'm going to watch this.
It's a lot of
I think
fun.
that would be fun. I would
It is
love
a
to
lot
do
of
that.
fun.
It's one of those few events that really, this week is special. We just, we're all talking about the homecoming and the dress-up days and bringing the kids down from middle and high school down to the elementary to all be dressed up the same and take photos. So I'm getting ready to release out tonight to Miss Word and Mr. Light dress-up days. But yeah, there's lots of activities. We're even, this is all live, so I don't want to tell what we have for the pep rally, but it involves middle school and high school teachers probably making fools of themselves a little bit. So, but the mud tug is pretty cool. We have elementary kids that come out with their siblings and they get on the megaphone and pull and tug, and it's just kids being kids. It was, that's just one of the nicest things. Where were we just at? This is great. So, yeah, we were just, supervising the volleyball game last night. We probably had 15 kids there, but they were just love being kids. And then after the game, they thought they still got it. So maybe this field house night we could have a adult volleyball league. I'm ready to go. But it's just really cool to see our kids, they're trustworthy, amazing individuals, and just to let them be kids on the court and laugh and smile and just be there for each other. It's really cool. And this is one of those events, and homecoming is for all, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So.
Sean, Jenny, and Bill, that's the team next week. I heard it. Did you guys hear that?
Yeah, I heard.
Mud tugging, here we go.
Yes, Ruth.
Can I talk some more? November 20th, we've set the date for our Thanksgiving dinner.
Oh, okay. What time?
5 to 7 is what we've historically done in the past. It is a Thursday, the Thursday before Thanksgiving, so November 20th.
5 to 7, you said?
5 to 7 p.m.
Yeah, we'll be planning here shortly, and we know where we're planning.
This will be where, here?
Here at I know.
And then if you're putting stuff in calendars, tentatively though, our big Veterans Day program, I talked to Mr. Bennett, he's thinking November 14th. And we talked about on the day or not on the day, a lot of the veterans will go and attend a lot of their kids' stuff, or they go and have their own traditions that they do, and Fridays seem to work out the last couple of years. So that's the reason why, if anyone asks why not on Tuesday versus Friday, is we don't want to take away those opportunities for them to go with their families and kids and all that too. So
And what time is that?
it'll be 10 a.m. again. Yeah.
What's that day, I'm sorry?
November 14th, I believe. We
Yeah, keep your phones out. I think
We just talked about it today, but to get stuff on the calendar, obviously that could change based off of what, we do, but it's always in that week, it's the last couple of years that, it's gone on the Friday, only to not take away from what, others already have commitments that have proceeded way before my time here, so.
And for us, November is a busy month for everybody. November 6th, we have our literacy night at 5:30. We're working with a group of former teachers that have put together a pretty cool group where they come in and help do things such as screening, just be in classrooms to listen to kids read, and we're trying to get them in the building. It's going to be a pretty cool thing, and they're going to help us with literacy night. They've donated some time and money, for food for parents to come and stuff like that. So we're still working out details, but on November 6th, it's literacy night at 5:30 in my building. Might even ask some of you guys to read or to do something. So.
Okay.
I was going to ask them to come to the homecoming dance and break down and dance and chaperone.
Get involved. It'll be fun.
Any other,
Kirk, what about you? What do you got back there?
Nothing that I can think of right now.
if there's nothing else, I mean, entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make the motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passed. Meeting is adjourned.